I really do. Okay. All right. So I just want to have a look at everybody here. And this is Kaylee. She's going to assist me today. And but what I'm feeling is we may really, I think what we're going to do is get in a circle, because I want to see you, I want to sit with you and be with you, and we can do that. And let's grab the opportunity. So Kyle's going to help us, and we can all like just turn your chairs around, and yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. I was going to talk first, but I forgot all about that. But I'll talk when I'm down there. So I will put the mic down. And Ted, are you going to be able to film us from back there? Say it again. I'll keep the mic. I'll keep talking with the mic. If there's anything else you need for me to do or us to do or organize so you can see us. Okay. And the only thing, too, Kyle, is I'm going to need is maybe my computer to possibly stretch over there if I run out of battery.
I've got a power. I'll plug it for you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'll sit there. Perfect. That's great. Yeah, I'm going to sit there. Thank you. And then, let's see. Kyle, will you help me with this computer and taking it down? Thank you. Kyle and Kaylee, I love that. Okay, cool. All right, so got this. Yes, thank you. Get my water.
So I have the HDMI cable is definitely not long enough.
What is it?
HDMI, it can't leave the podium.
And what does that do?
It puts the computer into the. Oh, do you want it on the display?
No, I don't want it on the display. Thank you so much. I'm glad you asked that. But it could be on the display because it's just a few of my newsletters. I want to make sure I. Okay, cool. Yay. And then where are you going to sit, Missy? You got to get in here. Kaylee's my assistant, so if you guys would make room, I'm going to sit here. But you guys, you want to sit between them, or no? Sit next to me. Okay, cool. Oh, I love this. Oh my God, I love this. Okay. Forgive me if now I want to make sure. Can you push back a little bit so I can just see around? You guys stay there. I want to make sure I can see you. I want to make sure I can see everybody. Yeah, that's perfect. Oh my God. If there's tears that I shed, you'll understand a little later why. But I'm so grateful you all are here. Like, I'm beyond grateful. I just, life is a wild ride sometimes, and I think I'm going to start with just telling you a little bit about my background. I'm originally from New Orleans, and and the reason I'm telling you this is it has definitely structured who I've become as a person and and why I do what I do. My mom was from Norway, my dad was from Mississippi, and they met at the Sorbonne in Paris. And my mom was 18, my dad was 19, and Dad had seen Mom all over billboards in Europe. She was, being from Norway, she was on these billboards. And then he ends up at the Sorbonne, and he's like, oh my God, that's that girl, And then she met him and his mother. My grandmother's name was Word, W-O-R-D. And Word had Word the second, and Word the second had Word the third. So there's 3 words up in my family. Mom always wanted to be an actress in the United States, and my family was like, oh my God, she'd be great fit for the family, and my mom ended up moving to Jackson, Mississippi in the 60s, which she was like, what is this? Like, she'd never seen anything like this before. She didn't, and it was like mind-blowing. She came from a very cultural family, and anyway. So she ends up in Mississippi. Eventually, she talks my dad into moving to Bourbon Street in New Orleans, and the fun began. And so she was a wild alcoholic drinker, spoke 6 different languages fluently, and she became best friends with Tennessee Williams and Clay Shaw, who was blamed for the Cuban Missile Crisis, and the only person who was tried and acquitted for the assassination of JFK. And, things began where we we'd have to, my dad would take me and he'd hide me behind fences, and we'd follow my mom into down the streets. And I mean, it's just wild. But she had these lavish parties, and anyway, cut to, she married her second doctor, and the first part sounds really impressive, what I'm about to say, and I'm going somewhere with all this, I promise you. He was like this world-renowned guy that was backed by the Kellogg and Ford Foundation. He was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize during the Nixon administration, and he was Dean of Tropical Medicine at Tulane University. He's helping women and children around the world with birth control and pregnancies and all that stuff. That's the first part. And then he was indicted by the federal government, and it became one of the top 4 federal cases in Louisiana, and we were followed by the FBI and CIA. Thank God my mom kicked me out of the house when I was 10 years old. She literally, on 2606 Royal Street, it was a haunted house we were in, and we had tours going through it, and but there was no food in the refrigerator. And I actually stayed with my friend Tammy, who was on welfare. She recently passed about 7 months ago. But her family, they had a 2-room house, and one room was a living room, and the other half was Lydia and Butch's bedroom. And they had a bathroom, and then they had the other bedroom, and there were 3 single beds in there. And I would stay with them there, and then there was a kitchen, and Miss Lydia made mashed potatoes and corn and pork chops. And it was the fun house. We sang, we laughed, we danced, we had a ball. I mean, we just had so much fun. And Tammy and I were supposed to write a book together. She was coming out to LA when I got back from Colorado, and she died. Like, she died 7 months. She wasn't supposed to die. She was coming to see me. And we were supposed to write about being on the other side of the tracks. We both came from 2 totally different neighborhoods, families, all that. And how my family showed her things she would have never gotten to see or experience in her life. And then the love and the fun was at her house, and eventually my little sister came there for a little while too. But the good news is my mom and I had an argument when I was 10 years old, and she literally kicked me out of the house and locked the door, and absolutely would not let me back in. I mean, she would not, no matter what, would not let me back in. And I went to the bar across the street because I was like, what the hell am I going to do now? And I was a kid who did not cry. You don't cry when you come from a family and you got stuff going on in the house that, Tammy and I would have to go, and, we'd come home from school and we'd go up to the 2nd floor, and my mom would be sprawled out naked, and all my friends would be standing behind me, and we'd just cover it up like it was another day, and we'd move on and get on with our business, and go have fun or go to their house or whatever. So I'm standing on the street, and there's a bar across the street, and I go and I go in there, and I stand on the bar stool, and I make a collect call to my dad, and I said, "Your mom's kicked me out," and he immediately sent a cab, and that's how I ended up moving in with my dad. I ended up having to testify against her because there was stuff that was going on in the house. It was obviously way too much, and we needed to get custody of my sister. Now, in the meantime, this second guy, Joe Beasley, Dr. Joseph Beasley, moves in the house, and he's not a good guy. He's the kind of guy that when I'm 14 years old, I'm in a restaurant with my friend Addie and her boyfriend Sam and my boyfriend Stephen, and in walks the senator. And Sam had been interning for the senators, and Sam says, "Oh, there's Senator so-and-so." And I was so excited. I was like, "Oh my God, my mom talks about him all the time." Because my mom was very politically active. She was a very educated woman. She was politically active. She always wanted to give back to, welcome, come on in. Thank you. Thanks for coming. And she always wanted to give back to the community. So on one hand, she had a heart of gold, and on the other hand, there was just like, well, you're getting the picture. So anyway, I get kicked out, I move in with Dad. I have to testify against her so we can get custody of my sister and I Well, I mean, it was pretty easy, done deal for me. But it's the Napoleonic Code there, and it was absolutely impossible to prove a mother unfit. But because of my testimony, we were able to do so, and then gain custody of my sister. Back to the senator. So the senator walks in. Sorry about that. I left a cliffhanger there. So the senator comes over, and Sam's introducing us, and I say, "Oh my God, my mom knows you. She talks about you all the time." And he goes, "Who's your mom?" And I said, "Kari Borg Beasley." And he said, and he looks at me and he goes, "Oh, that's the woman who allows her husband to beat the shit out of her all the time in front of my friends." So this is the kind of stuff I was getting, because the thing is all of our business was in the media for a year and a half. If you could go to the New York Times and Google Dr. Joseph Beasley, you'll see fraud. It was in the New York Times. It was everywhere. We had the FBI and CIA sitting outside our door. And it was a very, it was horrible, because everybody knew our business. It was terrible. And being the child and having to, you know what? I just kept marching. I literally would show no fear. And I kept marching no matter what, because I didn't know that fear was an option. I didn't know that you could be afraid. I mean, I literally had no idea that one could, like, be scared. And because I didn't have that option, and nobody else was taking care of any of the business that needed to be done at the house. So anyway, what that taught me, so I inherited my abilities from my dad and my grandmother. My dad is a doctor, psychiatrist. He's passed away. He could have a person sitting next to them and tell them everything. He would say, like, we'd be at the donut shop, and he'd say, "Oh, so," and a lady would be sitting next to us, and he'd say, "So how's that, your artwork coming along?" And the lady would look at him and say, I never said anything to you about my art, or we would be in Belize, Honduras, and I was in 6th grade, and he had me scuba diving by the time I was 10, because I started being treated like a boy. Like, I had to know cars, I knew how to drive a tractor. By the time I was 15, the whole thing with, anyway. So, but that's fine. That's all right. And so, where was I? Now I go. Dad abilities. So Dad, he knew things about people, and my grandmother was a futurist, and she could go backwards and forwards in time. And there's a flight, and you can Google it. All the grandkids were supposed to be on this flight to New York from New Orleans. And the night before, my grandmother canceled our entire trip. She said she had a bad feeling. Now look, these are Mississippi folks. They didn't believe in anything woo-woo. They were, they just didn't, wasn't their thing. Now I will say thing about my grandmother, even though she could do all these things, she was a teacher. I want to just say this, we did not get along. But she was a teacher. She worked at Perkinston Junior College in Wiggins, Mississippi, and she believed in educating everybody. She was fierce about educating. Everybody deserved an education. And she would take between 100 and 150 college kids every summer for 11 years all over the world. She'd get these Pell Grants from the government, and she was able to take kids that would never, ever be able to do, So I was exposed to every culture, every person, and welcoming everyone. So I thank God I come from that family. Racism wasn't, believe it or not, there was the culture of certain things that happened because of my family, but everyone was accepted as a human being. Like, I didn't know, anyway. So, but I inherited these abilities from my dad and my grandmother. My mom gave me a life where those abilities got seriously exercised. I mean, seriously effing exercised. There was no joke. There were people being hurt. I ended up having to turn in my stepfather. He did not hurt me. One time, Tammy and I went with him on a little drive in his Mercedes, little convertible Mercedes in the backwoods. And Tammy by then had taught me how to, like, really, she was so street smart. And she just knew. She knew something was, and somehow we managed to go unscathed. But there are kids that were not. And I ended up turning him in. And so I testified against my mom. I turned him in. And so I had to deal with this. Welcome, you guys. Come on in. Please come into the circle. Bring a chair. Let's make room. I want to really, yeah, let's open it up. Yeah, no, I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm really happy you're here. Thank you. So, I started reading people really early on, but I didn't know I was doing it. I had no idea that I knew who the bad guys were from the good guys. And anytime anybody would talk about business stuff, and I didn't realize this until I was much later, it's like a film runs in my mind. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, perfect. Welcome. Come on in. Get in the circle, though, please. Hi. Thank you. Thanks for being here. And so this film would run in my mind when people would talk about businesses or careers or whatever. And I remember one time my mom and I were at the Jackson Square, and there was this guy, Napoleon, who used to paint there. And Napoleon was talking about buying something or another. And I said, well, why not do da-da-da-da? And my mom said, oh, talk to Monique. She knows about business. That's the last and first time I ever heard my mom say anything really much about that. But she knew I had something else going on. So anyway, I ended up moving to, when I moved into my dad's, eventually his doctor drug addiction kicked in. And that became a whole thing, and I won't go into all of that because it became a real mess with the amphetamine and speed and all that kind of stuff. And I got out of there as soon as I could. I mean, I got the hell out of Dodge. I went to LSU, and after 2.5 years of being at LSU, I come on in, grab a chair and get in the circle, please. And I was at LSU for 2.5 years, and then I was like, I need to leave here. And I ended up taking a leave of, I didn't take a leave of absence. I ended up getting kicked out of my sorority because I didn't make my grades. So that was a good thing. And I took off and went to New York. And I hadn't seen my mom in 10 years. She lived at the Chelsea Hotel. I show up to her place. I was there for 2 weeks because she wanted to jump out of a window. And I looked at her and I said, look, I'm not putting up with this effing shit. Get back in the window. And I went about, and then I became a nanny for 2 weeks and got fired from that, and then became a waitress after that. But so I just give you these background details because I do have inherited skills, but it wasn't until I was 28 years old where I found out that I ended up on the cover of the Metro section of the LA Times, and it was just news to me, I mean, because I was working for one of the guys who was written up in the Los Angeles Times, who was one of the worst people you could work for in Los Angeles, and he was my direct boss, Jeffrey Ullman. And I don't know if any of you guys would remember this, but there was a company called Great Expectations, and it was the first video dating service of its kind. And I was running 43 centers across the nation for a corporation. I want to take my coat off. Thank you. And so, I mean, I'd been running things since I was a kid. Running business, running a household or turning in stepfathers or, whatever it was. I'd been doing all this since I was a child. So when I got hired for this position, I became the national director of 43 centers. Prior to that, I'd been assistant marketing coordinator for Showtime Networks, and I was running 120 cable affiliates, making sure they were promoting Showtime properly. So I have a business background, and I didn't want to waitress anymore. I was like, I was pursuing the whole acting thing, and I did, make some headway in that, which was great news because I was so shy too. I was very withdrawn. I was until I started drinking, and then all bets were off. I'm from New Orleans, started drinking at 15, driving, you name it, we all did it, and I'm definitely that. But anyway, so I I was working for Jeffrey, and I was running this department across the nation, and I was head of all the marketing for the company. And uh, whatever I created in the corporate office, it impacted 43 centers across the nation. And within 3 months of working there, I had a write-up in the LA Times, because I had to statistically prove that there were really like 1.2 marriages every, whatever it was, month, or what, I don't remember the statistics now. But anyway, I had the write-up, and they called me the bubbly Sherlock Holmes. And then the CFO, Keith Grenier, he said, you got something else going on with you. And it wasn't until then that I was like, I started realizing that people don't do what I do. They don't see what I see. Do you guys, can we make room for you guys to come into the circle so you can be a part? I would really like for you to be a part with us, please. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for helping. I really appreciate that. Yeah, scoot back a bit. I want to make sure I can see everybody's face. I'll help you. I'll help you. Okay. So, so people started taking notice, and then that's when my business started percolating. And then I went on to work for Shirley MacLaine for a year, and I ran her with Rick Riggs. We ran her corporate office in Santa Monica, and we were the nucleus between her books, her shows, the publicist, her manager, everything Shirley, and her house in Malibu. And I remember one time I had to organize her shoes, and I'm thinking I'm organizing Shirley MacLaine's shoes. What is this in her closet? A whole kind of thing. I'll tell you one quick story. I have to tell you this one quick Shirley story. So she just done her, she prepared for that pilgrimage across Spain, and she ended up writing a book, El Camino. And there really wasn't cell phones then, and we would lose her all the time. She'd be in the Santa Monica mountains, and we couldn't keep track of her and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, after her big 6 month or however long the thing, she wasn't gone that long. It was a long, you hike across Spain with all these people from all over the world. And, and so when she gets back, it's just a few of us at dinner at her house. It's Rick and I and Annette and her housekeeper and maybe one or two other people. And she's telling us about this grand adventure, right? Just this amazing time she's had. She's saying she's sleeping in these huts. And I looked at her and I said, weren't you worried that some weirdo was going to sleep in a hut with you? And she looks at me and she's like, oh, Monique, I don't have time for such small thinking. And I thought, oh my God, how rude. I didn't say. And then I said to myself, I know somehow, some way, later on, years later, I'm going to get what she's saying. And I get it now, that she was on the grand lifetime trip of her life. And then eventually I would get this. So anyway, I worked for her. And then I went on to Mark Travis, who was a director. He said, I went on to work for Mark. He created Bronx Tale with Chaz Palminteri. And he was the one that says, you know what, we need to create a flyer for you, and we're going to announce you as a business creative career consultant, because I was too afraid to let people know. I hear voices, I see things, I get pictures that run in my mind, and I get downloads of information. And I was terrified my dad would find out. And the very first time I was on KPFK with Dr. Nita Valens, she was the very first person that interviewed me. I was terrified my dad would hear the radio show, and he would be horrible. My dad got really mean. And so, anyway, I eventually said, a friend of mine, Michael, said, when you get honest with what it is that you really do, and you tell people what it is you really do, and you are who you really are, there will always be an audience there to hear you. Always. So I'm saying that to you now. Get honest. Get honest with who you are, what's important to you, what means something to you. No matter what your family says, no matter what your friends say, no matter who teases you, no matter who is mean to you, no matter who puts you down, no matter how, no matter what, I'm telling you, because that voice inside of you will never go away. And if you don't pay attention to it, it's going to cause hell in your life. I will promise you that. It'll force you to go within, where you're going to start to have to pay attention, where you can't ignore it anymore. And I'll give you one example. I did a documentary across the nation in 2003, and I was so sick of all the negative media, and I figured if I'm tired of all the negative media, then I better do something about it. So I got him, and this is before anybody was doing any of this stuff. It was just me, a map, my 2 dogs, my cappuccino machine, and I wanted to find this guy who had trained his pig to dance up to his food in Alabama. Because when my friend showed me this documentary on this guy, I was like, I want to meet this person. Like, why? What is he thinking that would support him in wanting to train his pig to dance up? And he would stand there in his little suit and his tie and his hat. He'd say, Suey, back up. And these pigs would back up. Suey, go left. Yeah, and then they would go right. And my friend Doug was like, isn't this the darndest thing you've ever seen? And I'm thinking, yeah, I want to meet this guy. So this guy, he inspired me to this whole documentary. I never found him. I looked for him. Believe you me, I would look for him. But I ended up driving 6,150 miles all over the nation. I thought I'd be gone for 2 weeks. I was gone for 3 months. Well, look, the country's only 3,000 miles long. So I was driving up and down and all around and all that stuff. But my theme is if you have a dream or a vision, and no matter what your obstacles are that you've gone through in your life, no matter what has happened to you, what is the faith that has carried you through? What kept you going, no matter what, to accomplish your dream or vision? So I had a very specific type of person I was looking for, and they had to have some sort of faith in something, some sort of faith greater than themselves that would carry them forward, that would keep them moving no matter what. And so I met this one guy, Martin Gray, in Sedona, and he became a travel guide to spiritual monuments all over the world, and he would take people on these tours. And he came from a family that had money, but he wanted to do this. Spiritually, he was really connected. But he was like, I remember interviewing him, and he was like, no matter what, if you have a dream or a vision, you go through it, and the universe will inspire you and encourage you and keep you moving. And I'm not doing it all justice. This guy was really off the charts. And then there was this one woman. I mean, I met so many people, and I interviewed so many people, but there was another woman I just want to talk about. Flo Robinson in Picayune, Mississippi. This woman, so I was visiting my cousins in Picayune, and I said, look, I want you to take me to the church on the other side of the tracks. And they're like, oh, we can't do that. We don't cross lines here, the black and the white. You just don't mix. Neither one would mix in Mississippi at that time, and it's still like that in some places. And I was like, what? I said, I don't care. Just take me over there. I know I'm going to find what I'm looking for, because I need somebody who's really, and I explained it. So, is that music? Is that you? Okay. I didn't know if was coming over there to come. That's okay. And so I finally convinced her. Are all your cell phones off? You'll make sure. Okay, cool. Thanks. So I finally convinced her to take me over there, and we drive up, and she waits in the truck outside, and I go in. And they had just finished they were in the middle of Sunday brunch, And I walk in, and everybody turns around the table, and they look at me like, and I'm like, oh. And I saw a cleaning lady, and I said, look, I've just finished this documentary. I ended up on NBC News, and I didn't really want to do any media because it wasn't about the media, but I did end up on NBC News. But I told her, I said, I've ended up on NBC News. You can Google it, you can see, and I'm looking for this type of person, a person who has a dream or a vision, and in spite of all the obstacles they've encountered, it's uplifting and helping mankind. And she goes, oh, Lord, child, I don't know. I'm going to have to talk to the lady of the church because we just don't do things like this here, but I'll see. So she goes and talks to the lady of the church, and she was at the head of the table, and she looks over at me, and she's like, And so I was like, so eventually she has me come over, and she says, I think I've got somebody for you, but I don't know if she's going to talk to you. And so I waited about 45 minutes, and then over at the picnic benches on the other side of the room, this lady was sitting there, and I was introduced to her, and her name was Flo Robinson. This woman's footage saved my life later on. So I'll just have to say that. Flo had a vision. She was brought up in the project. She was molested, abused, beaten as a child. When she was 11 years old, the sky is parted. And she had a vision that she was supposed to help people in real estate. And she didn't even know what real estate was. She didn't know, but she said, the Lord showed me that one day I would be helping people in real estate. Long story short, she gets cancer. And it had metastasized, a few years before I met her, it metastasized all over her body. And she was working for AT&T at the time. And she knew that she needed to quit her job and get a real estate license. And she ended up becoming the queen of HUD housing in Louisiana. And she helped hundreds and hundreds of families get off the street and into homes. She said if you have any kind of a paycheck, and most of the people on the street are Vietnam vets, she would get them and she could help them get into homes. And her testimony was so beyond. They experimented on her for 2 years, and the one thing she said to me, we're in the parking lot over there at Rainbow Realty, she says, Monique, she goes, when they think I'm crazy, I get happy feet and I start dancing because I don't look to my left, I don't look to my right, I walk by faith and not by sight. And she ended up overriding all that cancer and became the woman of HUD housing. So, but in 2003, I do this whole documentary. Now, keep in mind, it's not safe for me to be known in the media, right? As a child, it was a very bad thing to be known in the media. People, like senators, would come up to me and say horrible things like, oh, your mother is the woman who allows her husband to beat the shit out of her. So here I've done this whole big thing, and I come back, and I'm being represented by the people who created the Dog Whisperer, Neil Stearns and his company. And it was being pitched as a TV show, the documentary, and wouldn't you know it, I get exposed to toxic mold. And I get exposed to the worst kinds, Tachybatrus and Aspergillus. It's the kind that leaves you brain dead. And at the time, no doctor, no one knew anything about mold. Nothing, not even the Olympic ski team neurologist. And the reason I got in to see him was because my friend was best friends with his wife, Michelle. So, but I'm telling you this for a reason. If you don't follow that dream or vision and you start to pull back, because I started to get scared unconsciously because of the negative, the media, and unconsciously not realizing that the neocortex of my brain, which is the part of our brain that keeps us safe, is going, warning, warning, this is a danger sign, the media's coming, things are happening, this could be very unsafe for you. I ended up being sick for 15 years from toxic mold. However, I still managed because I keep marching no matter what. No matter what. I was ridden 10 days out of every month for 15 years. And I still managed to one of the things was in El Salvador, when their family fights, the riot police have to be called in. And they were transitioning third generation sugarcane hotels and condos to the fourth generation. Deloitte couldn't get the job done. and I was able to get the job done in 4 months. So I've been dealing with riot police or whatever, that kind of a situation, and I managed to accomplish all these things. So I tell you this because start paying attention. What are you doing to undermine yourself? And we're going to get into other things as well. But what are you doing when you contemplate and you're thinking about what dream or vision you have? Things you want to create. Are there things that step in, like chaotic relationships, people pleasing, illness, narcissistic, you attract narcissistic personalities that end up totally segueing you? What are the little hidden things that, or you go in and you save the day for everybody else? All these little hidden jewels that end up coming in when we don't listen to our inside self. I promise you, I'm sitting here years later, and here I am, and I'm like, okay, God, I get it. I'll do it. I'm here. I'll put all my information out. I'm getting all this stuff. I'm getting the message. And I'm only going to give you one more thing, and then we're going to get into you. So then over COVID, my dad ended up passing away during COVID. And I was supposed to inherit that farm that we owned, that my grandfather was the respite. He was my salvation. He was a farmer. I would stay with him as much as I could as a kid. And I told my dad before he died, I said, I'll do anything to have the farm. I will buy it from you, whatever I got to do to have it. His wife overheard that, and she sold it that week. And I didn't find out until after his death that it was gone. I ended up in the ER 13 times. But here's the thing. This is what I'm telling you. Is I allowed that to snag me so badly because I went looking for lawyers from Mississippi to Louisiana to go after because she's a lawyer. And I had to find the biggest and the baddest, and I did find the biggest and the baddest. And not only did I find them, but they knew my grandparents, they knew the property manager, they knew like my entire family. But what was happening is I ended up in the ER 13 times because my heart rate would go up, and this whole thing was leveling me out. It was totally like taking me down. I was allowing my family, once again, situation to intrude and come in and take me down and segue me and distract me. What are the distractions in your life that are preventing you from moving forward? Take note. They it looks like, well, no, I was supposed to. I'm going to take care of this. That's my farm. It's not her, But it was making me sick. It was making me, and then I ended up being over-medicated by a cardiologist. I have nothing in my system. It leveled me out for a year and a half. So I say and I'm on the other side of all of this now, and now hindsight, I say all this to you. If anything is snagging you that much, it's as big as and as great as what it is that you are to deliver here to the world. I promise you. I've already done all the homework for you. It's true that if as big as the distraction is as big as what you are to deliver here to the world. 100%. So take a look at those distractions. Take a look at what's got you. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say. So what I want to do now is for a few minutes, I want to go, you don't have to talk if you don't want to, but I just want to get a feel for who everybody is. And what were you hoping to gain when you were here? Because I want to make sure that I come in with all this. And I'm going to go around to each one of you and talk for a few minutes, and you don't have to if you don't want to, and if you don't, look, if you don't want me to talk about your private business, let me know up front. I will not, and because this is being recorded, just so you know, but if you allow me to go a little deeper, I will, but I may ask you a couple of surface questions and that sort of thing. But so I guess we'll just go around. I'll start with you. And, what were you hoping to gain? What's your name, first of all? Linda. Okay. Oh, cool. This is Kaylee, my assistant.
I travel with my friend Rosie. This is our second year out here, and just to find out what it's all about.
Fantastic. And how did you find out about this workshop?
last year we found out about it, so we came back this year.
Oh, very cool. And you specifically came here today to see me to gain
Just
what?
Find out what you were all about.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you. All right, thank you.
And my friend Rosie will probably explain it better.
Okay, good. Then yeah, I'll jump to Rosie then.
Oh, perfect.
Kayla, you're going to be jumping around a little bit. Let's go around over here. We don't have to go in order. We can.
Which one was it? You.
I'm not very. I'm more gestalt than linear, you guys. So we might be bouncing around a bit, but I know where I'm going. So Rosie, tell us the deal.
So the deal is, I just again was curious. Your little bio captivated me, so I was like, I definitely want to attend this. So here I am. But me, I live in Florida, teetering on going back to get my master's degree in therapy. But I'm a writer at heart. I mean, I've got books published already. It's just like, it's not a lot of money in book writing for authors. So, just to supplement, I thought, like, let me just go get my master's in counseling. Because I'm also a life coach. So I got my certification in that as well. I just have too much time on my hands.
So I would ask you a question.
Yep.
So what's the non-PC book that you would want to write that people would be like horrified knowing that this would come for you and it would be under a pseudonym?
It's already written.
Oh.
Under a pseudonym.
Really?
It is.
Is it published?
Yes. Yeah. On
And is it
Amazon.
out there?
Yeah, on Amazon.
Oh no, we got to go bigger with that. You need to go to a bigger publishing company with that.
So the content, and I'll tell everybody, my pseudonym is Rosie Bloom.
Okay.
Fitting. And the one title is called The Raped Babysitter, because I lived it. Like when you were
my
talking, I was like,
God.
oh, me and this chick got so much in common. And then the other one is it's shit you don't see when you're in it. Shit you don't see when you're in it. So both of those are published under Rosie Bloom. I have a few under my real name, Rose Shackelford, but those are the ones that I'm pushing. But because of the content, nobody wants to touch it. And I get it. So that's why I've had to step out on my own.
Okay, so you know what?
What?
It's supposed to be a film.
Okay. Yeah.
It's supposed to be a film. You're supposed to be pitching that. Ooh, I'm getting chills. I have got chills up and down my spine. I mean, my God, my hair is standing up on me. It's supposed to be a film.
Yeah. I'd prefer my mother to pass away before.
I know, I get it. I waited till my mom died before. Yeah, I know.
I know that's horrible.
No,
but
no,
yeah,
I get it.
Yeah.
I'm writing my story now, finally. Yeah. Wow.
Congratulations, yes.
Okay, so there's your answer.
Thank you.
You need to pitch it.
Thank you. Okay. Will
Okay,
do.
cool. All right, who's next? Okay.
Gonna get your steps in today.
Hello, my name is Natalie. I am from Amsterdam. I make music, I sing, I DJ, and I got here through my friend Patil. And we're both on this amazing spiritual journey. And I would just like to find out more, like what is my purpose and what more can I do to be in service?
So where's all the sadness coming from?
I'm not sad. I'm
You're-
nervous.
You nervous?
Nervous, yeah.
But there's a forlorn is the word. I don't even know what forlorn means.
Me neither.
Yeah, forlorn, like a longing, I guess.
Well, I have been dealing with a vocal condition since 2017.
A vocal condition?
Yeah, and I'm a
Okay.
singer.
Tell me about that.
It's a neurological condition, and it's called spasmodic dysphonia. And it's a spasm of my vocal cords.
That's where the sadness and the forlorn, I mean, that's it.
Yeah, most likely.
Oh,
yeah.
that would be it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but
Alright.
it hasn't stopped me from doing music. Because
Okay.
I have a lot to give, I feel like, so.
So I wasn't going to talk about this, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about it.
Go ahead.
Okay, no talking, please. I appreciate it, but they're talking because I want to focus here. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I'm going to do it. Whew. Okay. So I was, the toxic mold stuff, and I was very violently ill for 15 years. No doctor could help me. I went to a prayer, and I was I said a prayer at a cliff in Malibu, and I said it to anybody who would listen. Chumash Indians, aliens, Lemurians, Palladians, Jesus, you name it. I was praying. And I said, you better heal this effing shit on the right side of my brain or I'm out of here. And I was going to, and I meant it after 15 years. Long story short, I won't go into the details now because I really want to cover a lot with you guys. I was healed with healing hands in the middle of the night, and I was left with the right hand that heals. I've got an electrical current coming out of my right hand that has now registered on the monitor in the brain injury ICU. It's on video. I can send you it's on video. You can see it. A little bitty snippet of it is on YouTube, but there's a minute of it, and the wife is explaining like, oh my God, because her wife was brain dead, and there was no motion on the monitor, and when I would hover my hand, the monitor was going nuts. So, and it's healed horses and dogs. It's not something I talk about or advertise. Well, I will hover my hand for you later.
Okay.
I promise you.
Thank
We
you.
will in the hall or whatever, bathroom, anywhere. I don't care. And so we're going to do that. But that's what's going on. And so good. I'm going to move on.
Awesome.
That's why we're supposed to speak. Okay.
I love
I
that.
was not planning on.
Thank
Go.
you.
Hi. Did we met in the elevator the other day? We did. Yeah. Cool.
So
Good to see you.
So I'm so glad we did because I think I would have missed this and that was not meant to be. So that's why we met, I think, in some ways, so that I'm here. So let's see. I'm a licensed social worker, but that was kind of my past career. I would say I'm doing a mix of that now. I'm now a Reiki master. It's been a couple of years now since I've transitioned in some ways. And I feel like I'm on the brink of X. But I don't know. I'm curious to see what you read in me. It took a long time to be seen and to be okay being seen. And I feel like I'm more there now.
So what's so maddening or angering right now? Or who are you so pissed off at or
Ooh.
something? If you don't want to talk about it all, you don't have to, but can you tell us a little bit?
I don't feel so mad or angry.
You don't? There's something
No.
that is like a I don't know why that I'm just going to say the word potato chip. I don't know why that's so weird. Something where you're feeling like you're having to control a situation, or somebody's not doing it right, something that's maddening.
Okay, I don't know if I would describe it as maddening, but I'm like, should I say this or not? Okay, I overheard a very interesting conversation yesterday in my hotel room about disclosure of ETs, and the guy was talking to somebody in the government-ish, trying to convince them to disclose it. And,
Is this a big thorn in your side?
well,
Or is it about disclosure in
well,
general?
Truth. Well,
Truth.
Yeah,
Okay, there
truth
we
is
go.
very,
So tell me about that. Tell me about that. Where did that start?
I think that's past life stuff. That's, I think.
But how's that coming out in your life now?
About speaking the
About-
truth?
Mm-hmm. About people speaking or not speaking the truth, or disclosing or not disclosing, and that sort of thing.
Well, I just said literally one that happened in the past 24 hours about, is it going to be disclosed or not? Is truth going to happen or not?
But I'm just so curious where that comes from. But we don't have to go into that. We don't. I'm not going to excavate right now. But it's a real thing for you, for
Yeah, I
people
believe it.
being truthful and being honest
Oh,
with
I believe
F the, and I'm wondering, being like standing up,
Yeah.
and that's a really big deal. And when they don't, it really maddens you and you want to like rip the whatever. And does that make sense to you at all?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely, I think, like a humanitarian, sure, and like sticking up for people and that sort of thing.
And so who didn't stick up for you?
Probably, yeah, my parents. I mean,
Okay.
I really, in a lot of ways, raised myself emotionally, so.
Okay, I'm not going to go down that path with you, but
Yeah, no.
yeah. Okay, so and so now you're looking at where you want to go and what you're doing and what's happening. And who are the people that you really stand up for in life, like whether it's a collective group of people or that kind of a thing?
I would say it's always been marginalized populations, but at this point in time, I mean, we all are in some ways, you know.
I'm just focusing on you.
Okay.
So I'm just going to say to you, I hope you're using your voice to get out there and speak up. And the next time maybe you hear something like that, I don't know, it's tricky because I deal with government stuff all the time and you can't call these guys out on like, what do you mean you're not going to disclose this? So
Well, I wouldn't say it that way.
I know, you probably, how would you say it?
Oh, I've thought about it. Yeah.
Yeah, tell us. How would you say it?
To Trump, I would specifically say it's time to spill the tea about the big D. But I'm not kidding, because he's such a narcissist that
We're not going to be talking about him too much here
I
at all, actually.
No, and
Here.
I'm not even into politics. This is why it's like I don't watch.
But you
news.
know what? You might have to do a little something.
Well, that's what I'm kind of wondering a validation
Well,
about.
I'm
is what
telling you
asking.
right now, you're going to end up doing something with that because it's maddening for you.
Okay, interesting.
That's what's maddening, and you got to move that energy. You can't stuff it down.
Okay.
Okay, get into it immediately. If you even hear elevator talk, go, oh, that was interesting. I don't know. You have to decide whether it's safe or not to do that. But you'll know when. God will lead you into. You'll know.
Yeah. Well,
You'll
it
know.
feels like a yes. It's just a weird one. You know, I didn't.
Well, that's why you're here.
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah.
That's why you're here.
Okay.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Thanks,
Okay,
thanks.
who's next? All right, and let me just go over here. Yes, hi. And I'll come back over here. Here she comes. Good job. I love your outfit, by the way.
Hi, I have 3 businesses and I'm trying to tie them all together. They're in the healing arts, so I have a retreat center, a sound healing technology startup, and then a physical, like, body and energy work practice. And I'm trying to focus, trying to level up, tie them together, do my work to kind of clear my channel, and I feel ready to step into something bigger. So I guess the question is, is there something blocking me? Is there something I should let go of? Is there something I should focus on more?
What do you mean sound healing energy startup? Are you talking about tech startup? Because
It's a physical device that produces sound and vibration and helps people drop into deeper states of consciousness very quickly. I'm working with different therapists. We're about to do a psychedelic trial. I've worked with trauma therapists who are using it on their patients. And it's something that I hope to bring out to wider circles. So I'm looking at doing events around that, and I've been self-funding, but
have you gone and pitched to any of the tech people yet? Do you have the device?
oh yeah.
Okay.
I was in 2 tech incubators and really
Great.
felt disgusted with the whole venture capital aspect, and so I've been trying to go grassroots. And then
No.
well, they have
You
this whole-
can, but you're going to take the slow road. If you got into those rooms and they got the money and you've got the machine to help other people, you're going to have to, you can do what you want. I'm just going to be blunt. Get over it and get on so you can help other people. You need to help people with your information, your machine. I don't mean to be rude. I'm not being rude.
No, it's fine.
But you're really smart, and what you've created is really great, and it can help a lot of people. And if you can get into those rooms, and you're getting in those rooms, and you can get the funding, I would head in that direction initially, because it'll fund everything else. What are you contemplating?
In the incubators, they say traction, have sales, and it's like, well, I have to have the money to build the devices to sell them. So I'm trying to do workshops where we have a small amount where a lot of people can try it instead of...
Take out the word try, don't use it anymore.
Okay. I'm organizing workshops for people to come in and use the device and give us feedback. And my thinking is that if enough people are interested, then I can take that data to the venture capitalists. I don't want them to come suck my company away from me. I want them to come and say, hey, we love what you're doing, can we be a part of it?
How do you feel they'll suck it away from you? Do you own all the patents and everything, or intellectual property?
Yeah. I had a utility patent pending. I let it go because everything's changed, and I put so much into it. I don't have the funding. I need funding to do those bigger things, so I'm kind of self-funding, or I have been self-funding it, and now I feel like it's kind of got to live on its own. And so I live up in the Bay Area. We're getting ready to do different events and kind of bring that a bigger picture in with the technology, with somatic healing, with energy work, with...
That's so good. That's really good. It's great. What is your anger around high-level men with money?
My dad, he
What-
used money as... He couldn't relate to me emotionally, but my mom was my advocate growing up, and he would try to take things away because he was angry, and then he would come back and, here's $20, or I filled up your car with gas, and so it really felt controlling. I was a ballet dancer. Oh, I'm going to take your ballet lessons away. I'm going to, there was a lot of, I think I have this thing where I just want to do it myself.
So the
Nobody
way
can
you
take
just
it.
explained that, and the way you just explained how the tech people would just say traction, traction, traction.
They do. They
Is that
say
the word?
They
It was,
say
it was
yeah.
the same voice, and it's totally linked to your dad. So this whole dad thing, I don't have time to do it now, but it's something you're going to get to override so that you can get the money and get the funding. That's all that's blocking you with this right now.
My relationship, so... Okay.
Your relationship with men with money.
Any broad suggestion about how to get over
Well,
that?
yeah, I mean, that's what my work is what I do, and I wish I had more time. I don't even know where we are in time. I'm just going to keep moving, but
Okay.
that's what's up. And we only have 30 minutes? Oh, my God. Okay. So, okay, all right, let me just say this right now. I have a book that's coming out. It's based on intuitive goal setting. It's called Have You Ever Asked Yourself, How Far Can My Business Go? What should I really be doing in my career? Why do I feel so stuck? What is my next step? And what are my true gifts? And it is based on a workshop I've taught for 25 years. And I was going to I had a prototype of it. Anyway, I've taught a workshop for years that I haven't taught, and I should start teaching it again. I haven't taught it because I was healing from this over-medication thing. But I don't know, if you guys want to sign up for the newsletter list, do you want to start circling, give a piece of paper and everybody, if you want to put your email on the list. I didn't know we were only at 30 minutes. Oh my God, I could go do this all day long. Okay, yeah, if you want to get on the email list, it's a private email list. It's not something that you can sign up. You can't go to my website and sign up for it. You're not going to see anywhere, because I like to know who's on my list. And I like to, I'm very intimate with people, and I want to know what's up. So you can contact me. But I do have this book coming out. Maybe I'll start, if you guys want to if you want me to do a workshop, I'll start a workshop immediately on intuitive goal setting. It's an 8-week workshop. It's 2 hours each week. I have not taught it in years, but I'd be totally open to doing that. I would love to. And it's an inexpensive way to see me. Once a week for 8 weeks, we'll do it by phone. And what are your soul's purpose goals? And we set intuitive goals in 10 different areas. How do you want to see yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, career, financially, fun, education, material, relationship, and contribution. And we'll meet for 2 hours each week, but everybody has an individual consult prior to joining the workshop because, as you can see, we get right to it in the first few minutes, and you apply everything you get in that 1 hour consultation to the workshop, and you're like light years ahead. So Kaylee's going to pass the list around. Put your name, if you want to put your phone number, you don't have to, but put your email address, and if you're interested in the workshop and you'd like to do it, I'll start it soon. Why not? Just put workshop next to it, and then that way we'll get it. I mean, heck, I don't even know what. I'll get it going like next weekend. I literally have not taught it in a few years. So I would love to do that, and that would help you tremendously. If you go to my website, moniqueguild.com, it'll explain the initial consultation, but it's what we're doing here for an hour. So we cover everything really fast. Okay, I'm going to jump to the other person. Who's next? Yes. Patel.
Thank you very much. And I'm so grateful to be here. You all beautiful souls. I love you all. You look amazing. And thank you very much for providing this space. So I'm a Bashar fan. This is why I'm here.
You're a what fan?
Bashar.
Bashar. Okay,
Yes, I
very
love the
cool.
guy. They're
Okay.
like and I saw your workshop, and I thought that's for me. I work mainly as an airline pilot. I still do, flying all over the world, but I've been very intuitive driven for the past 4 years. I was running early in the morning in Chula Vista, and I experienced an out-of-body experience, and I went through all of the feelings. And coming out of that, I was looking everywhere to see if someone can tell me what had just happened, but there was no one. I was with myself. It was really early in the morning. And I had certainty that I needed to be in the US, in California. I am Mexican. I'm still working on the residency thing. And
I'm
then,
glad you're here. Good to see you.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. And then I went through so many things, the break point, and then spiritualism was there, being shown to me in very gentle, precise moments where I was most vulnerable. And the first thing that I experienced was Reiki, and then ayahuasca, and then my wife. Oh my God, she's so wise. And then this thing came to me. I mean, being a pilot is just so much fun. There's no need
So
to
I'm gonna ask you to cut to exactly what you need. I wish I had a million years with you.
I'm trying to be super condensed.
Okay,
What do you need to know?
What can I help you with?
Soul movies. So this is what I'm struggling so much with it. Soul movies came, and it's there's a theory called the tipping point theory, where the square root of the 1% of the human population come together in conscious meditation, and then the thing shifts for
Right.
everyone.
I know what you're talking
That's
about.
10,000 people today. And what's the vehicle? How am I going to reach to them? Through Soul Movies. Soul Movies AI is my website and my project, where I'm looking forward to empower people to feed them on, to trust themselves, to not look for words of support outside from
Right.
themselves, to believe in themselves. So through this, then I create this, oh my God, I'm losing my words.
It's okay. Well, you know what? We'll have time to
Confidence.
talk. Okay.
Confidence.
Okay.
And then I get this community, and then I invite them in 5 years, 4 years at the USCLA Stadium. And then we collectively meditate, or at the beach, Santa Monica, I live there. We collectively meditate, and this, boom, this is it.
You
Soul
know what I'm
movies.
going to say to you? I'm going to cut to
Yes.
the chase. And I mean, if you guys are open to doing a workshop, I think you'll get everything you're going to need in the workshop, because it's going to keep you on track for 8 weeks. And you're going to find, I've had people get married, buy houses. I mean, I taught it for so many years. It's been, you will find it. I mean, it's because there's so many different levels and ways that you can go with this, and different groups that you can go to. And I wish I had more time, but I don't right now.
I think the only thing stopping me is my human nature, or all my programming, because there's some times where nothing matters, and I'm just in such a flow and achieve so much, but then life strikes, and then I'm again Juan Carlos, and everything seems so difficult, and nothing can be achieved.
That's life, and I get it. I totally freaking get it.
Thank you very
I
much.
really do. Yeah, thank you so much. So your dream, have you written it all out? Have you written all this out and put it all on paper and get it out of your mind and on the paper? Because you've got to be able to connect neurologically to a greater reality that overrides the Juan Carlos you're talking about. You have to, your vision has got to be greater than this character you're Juan Carlos. I didn't like the way you said that, because you're an amazing human being, you know, and you've got to put it down on paper. You've got to, every single thing, all this has got to go, get it out of your head and on paper.
All is done, all is created. It's just I have not launched it yet.
Okay.
But I think I'm not understanding really.
Yeah,
what
we'll
you're
talk a
telling
little
me.
bit. I have
Yes,
time to talk
absolutely.
after. So, okay, cool.
Thank you.
Who can I go to next? Yes. How many minutes do I have right now? 20? Okay, can you guys let me know when I got, I'm going to do 2 minutes, 2 minutes, and 2 minutes.
I'll give you 10, 5, and time out.
Okay, but that I talk to each person for 2 minutes. If you don't mind, please. Can you, Kyle, can you, okay, you got it. Okay, cool. Let's do it.
Yeah, sorry, I'll try to be very quick. I have a studio that I just opened in Tucson called Intuitive Harp Healing. I'm a harpist, and I'm trying to bring classical pedal harp to more people, but in the form of sound healing. And I've just had it open for a year. I've really created a lot of great community around it. And I just wanted to see if you had any thoughts for me.
So there was a lady I interviewed in Sedona who was, this is years ago in 2003, and she brought it to the prisons. She was a harpist. And it opened up a world for her that was like unbelievable. And I don't even know if she's still around or not, but she, you could Google harpist. She's a blonde lady, and she has a big harp. And if I go back to my footage, I can find her name. But that's what came up. Go that way, that direction with that. Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah, so going to populations where there's sort of unmet need.
If that's the way you want to describe it, yes. If that feels right to you, yes. 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 Okay. And then we'll go you, and then you. Okay. And then you. And then over here. Okay.
I am feeling a little bit lost in life, I guess. Financially, feel not necessarily struggling because I'm supported, but it doesn't feel like mine. And
why doesn't it feel like yours?
Because it's not my income that's being generated. Like it's,
and is
feels
it being
PC.
used against you?
No,
They're
at
not
all.
using it against
No,
you.
not
Okay,
at
good.
all.
I just wanted to check that.
But anytime I get started on something, like my work is based in somatics, and I'll get started, and then I'll get super sick, and I can't like get over the hurdle. It seems anytime.
I understand. I really do. I get it. I mean, I really flipping get it. It's all about being seen. It's all about being seen. And whatever happened to you as a kid where it was not safe for you to be seen, that's what's up. Does that make any sense to you? Or not really? If it doesn't, it doesn't. Why is it unsafe for you to be seen?
I don't really know. I don't really know, but there is a problem with expression that I know very well.
Okay, so whatever that is, that problem with expression, that needs, I mean, we can explore it. I wish I don't want to do it in public, though. I don't think it's a good idea.
Whatever you say.
Okay, yeah. But that's all it is. And then the sickness keeps you from being seen because it keeps you bedridden or whatever it is. You got to be behind closed doors. So the good news is that it's real obvious, and it's about starting today. No matter what you're saying or thinking or whatever, express yourself. Okay, my 2 minutes are up. Don't speak your mind today. No matter how you feel, don't people please. Be the exact opposite of who you are and speak your mind. Does that make any sense at all? Like, don't worry about hurting anybody's feelings, just be honest.
I'll do my best.
Okay, I wish I could, okay.
Hi, my name is Shanna, and I am stuck in the fabric of I have taken so many classes. I'm in love with every single thing I do, and I'm obsessed with everything, and it's a level 100 on every single thing I touch. And I can never get grounded, and I start and I throw the website up, and and then I get excited over this thing, and then that thing, and then that, and it never stops for years.
Perfectionism. You need to just put it out there.
Okay.
Let it be imperfect.
Thank you.
That's it.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, good. Let's get to you.
And I probably have the same thing going on. A lot of my ideas are very grandiose, and my dreams
Who
are
said?
really big. No, me. I think they are
Okay.
grandiose. They are
Did anybody say
huge.
that to you as a kid too? Like, oh, you're too big?
No, never. I was always
Okay,
supported.
just checking.
Other people do. Have along the way. It doesn't stop. It hasn't stopped me. That
Okay.
hasn't stopped me. I think I'm my biggest, break, if so to speak. But
So what's the love of your life project that you want to work on? Does it have anything to do with kids?
No,
Okay, just asking. Okay.
no. Where's this though? Maybe you're picking that up.
Oh, okay.
Mine is space.
Oh.
And so it's a very big thing.
I love space.
Yeah.
I like to fly in space. I did as a kid. I used to travel in wormholes all the time.
Yeah.
No joke.
Yeah.
I did.
believe you.
So,
mine is too. And so
really?
yeah.
Okay. Do you
And
want to do a movie around it? Have you written anything about the type of specific area you're interested in?
A little bit.
Have you thought about writing a screenplay about it?
I haven't really.
And why is it different than what anybody else has done?
Why is it different?
Yeah.
Because no one's done it.
Okay, but why? Well, don't say.
Well, no one's done it yet. People are working on doing it.
Okay, that's you need to get to that.
No one's done it.
And I'm glad it's grandiose.
Talk more, but
Yeah, I'm glad it's grandiose, neurologically hardwired, and get into it, and all
I
that.
was a filmmaker for 17 years, so yeah, I would love to make a movie
Okay, good.
about it.
All right, so we nailed that one. Film, hello. All right, next. Are you good? We're here. Okay.
Hi,
How many minutes do I have? Nailed it. 10? Okay, good.
I'm Raj, and
Raj?
Raj.
Raj, hi.
Yeah, I have a business in healthcare technology for the last 4 or 5 years.
Healthcare technology.
Yes.
Oh,
And
interesting.
it is all AI.
Maybe you guys could talk for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
and
all
AI.
AI based.
Okay.
And I'm stuck with one customer for the last 3-4 years, which was my previous employer. Now the new people, whomever I talk to, they know they want AI, but I'm still stuck with one customer.
With your previous boss.
With, yes, you can say, or the previous employer. And
Previous employer.
That is growing, but I'm not getting a next customer.
Oh, okay. So you need more customers then. You need more customers. Well, you're so caught up in this employer, ex-employer, and the chaos or adrenaline rush or chemical addiction that is with the chemical contract that you have with this person. You got more of a chemical contract with that person than you do your next person.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you need to break the chemical contract with him neurologically and hardwire to what your next customer looks like and engage and write it all out and gets very specific and very detailed about what type of person you want to be next and working with next because you're so caught up chemically. It's a chemical contract with this person and you get a chemical hit every time you're dealing with this person and the fact that you're still stuck with them. And that's keeping you addicted. We get chemically addicted to people. We have contracts with them. And that's what's happening. Does that make any sense at all?
Yeah.
Kinda?
But it's not just one person, like it's a group of
Well,
people.
yeah, that's
there
fine.
in
The whole group,
employ-
more the merrier, chemicals. Yeah. So that's what's up. You really need to get more specific of the type of customer you're wanting to go with and what area. Okay, we're up. That's it. Does
Got
that,
it.
okay?
Yeah,
Help a little
yeah,
bit? Okay, I'm going to
okay.
go over here. Yes.
Hi, I'm Prachi. I'm also from New Orleans.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
What part?
I grew up in Metairie.
You
so,
did?
yeah.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've lived all over. So I'm an acupuncturist, and I thought that was like my calling, and that was going to be it. And like right when I was like building my business and getting my practice open, like everything kind of fell apart in my life. So I was like, that's fine. I've got this one thing that's my passion, and I started working. And about a year into it, I went into like huge chronic pain issues, and like just all kinds of pain stuff to where even physically, and I'd already started feeling like, I don't know if this is actually the thing, even though like I spent all these years building towards it. And when my body felt like it completely shut down and I couldn't physically do the work that I need to do, I was like, this is a sign. Like this maybe was like a stepping stone into something else. And so I'm still in acupuncture, but like working every day physically is so painful for me. It just doesn't, it feels like such a mismatch. So I have all these ideas because I'm limited now by physical limitations of what I can do for work. So I was thinking we're going online, like doing courses.
Do you have any mold in your place?
I lived in a moldy apartment when I was in acupuncture school.
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, the spores They attach themselves to everything that's porous. Anything that's cloth, anything that's not steel or glass, they embed themselves in. And if you have things that were in that environment and you've brought to the new environment, that's what might be affecting your body.
I don't know if I still do because that was when I lived in Austin, but I do feel like I'm still affected by living in mold.
Yeah, there is definitely, because, see, it took me 3 years to figure out, because nobody else knew, and I had to figure it out. I was like a guinea pig, that I kept moving places, moving, and every time I moved, I was still sick. I was getting sicker. Okay, I'm out of time. And it was because the spores had embedded themselves into all my material, and I was still being exposed until I get rid of everything that I owned. And I had to do it over and over again because I would bring my shoes or my toothbrush or whatever and not think.
Yeah.
And the spores were in that, and it was still infecting me. So it was a freaking nightmare. I know more about this than most people. I have to move on right now, but that might have something to do with it. Possibly, but I know you want more of a specific. I mean, I know there was something over. Yes, he was here before you, so I'm going to go ahead.
Thank you. I think I was drawn. There's a ton of business coaches and stuff out there, and I was drawn to yours. So your marketing worked on me. That's why I'm here. But yeah, I'm a past life regressionist, breathwork facilitator, energy worker, and I found my calling. Straight up, but I'm still got one foot in a regular job that I've been in for way too long, and I know I can be on a stage here at the Expo, but there's something.
Can I cut to the chase real quick?
Yeah.
Oh God, I don't know. This is really personal, if I should say it or not, and it might be really not. Did you have? Was there somebody you were interested in that was married? You don't have to say anything. You don't have to answer. Or somebody that you have a longing for in your heart, and they've always been preoccupied with somebody else, or something like that. You don't have to answer any of this.
Not like specifically that I remember.
But what?
Or no. No.
There's a sadness, a longing, a heartstring thing.
Well, yeah, I've lost a lot of friends to suicide, and yeah. I've experienced a lot of grief. Yeah.
My best friend killed herself. She hung herself.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I know all about that.
That's a rough one.
Yeah. Murder, people hanging themselves. You name it. Unfortunately, I've experienced a whole freaking lot.
Yeah. So thanks for being here. We appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you. How long ago did that happen?
11 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And and are you a writer? I wish I had more time with you. Are you a writer? Do you write too?
I like to write.
Have you ever thought about
been blocked a little bit
writing about the suicide stuff or any of that, or experience of being the person who has experienced all this? Or
yeah, I spent 8 years on the board of directors for a nonprofit in LA for suicide prevention. So
you got to bring that forward. It's so important. We should talk more because I know what it's like. It's horrible. It's a horrible. I was supposed to go to New Orleans to take her to AA meetings. I couldn't do it, and she freaking hangs herself. So I get it.
But
we were best friends.
They've all got their own journey, though.
Right, and that's what you need to write about. Okay. Does that make any sense? Okay, I gotta go. I only have 5 minutes remaining total. Okay, we're gonna go quick. You're welcome.
Thank you. So yeah, I'm in limbo. I feel kind of stuck, and I would be super curious to see what you can read in me. So I'm running too many things at the same time, and I'm a passionate astrologer. I'm about to write a book for youth astrology.
Fantastic.
And I'm about to write a course, like a 3-level course, and then I have to work like a regular job also to just be able to make it. I lost 2 jobs. It's like really, the rug is pulled underneath my feet. I feel blocked in a way. So I'm curious what you see.
So who was the heavy hand when you were a kid growing up? What was the stress coming from when you were growing up?
Ooh, I think my mom.
Okay, so that stress you've carried on. As we get older, our environments that we come from, like the crazy environment that I came from as a kid, I have to make sure that I am neurologically hardwiring to greater reality constantly, or that familial environment will freaking sneak in, and if my body's chemically addicted to that type of stress, and I have to make sure I'm staying in creation constantly, or I get exposed to toxic mold, or this happens, or all these crazy things happen. So you've got to override it, and I know what that's about, and I understand it. And the good news is like I get to go into greater things, because of my abilities now, they're freaking off the charts beyond anything. And so I just get to attach and bring everybody with me into this greater situation. I get to stay focused on that.
Focus,
So,
that's the thing, and I think she's about to cross over also. So I
oh,
think
good.
it's,
That'll be good. I don't mean to be
Yes, I know,
rude,
I know,
but
it will.
it'll help. I
Yes.
promise you. You'll see. Okay. I have 2 minutes for somebody else. Sorry. Okay. Yes. 11:27. This will be it. Okay. I just want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. I'll be outside if you want to talk for later, and if you signed up on the newsletter list, great, and I'll inform you of the workshop and stuff like that, and you have everything and all that. Is there any other information? Okay, let's go.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi.
Honestly, I just would like to ask you if you could share resources to enhance my own intuition. I had an awakening that woke me back up to my intuitive self.
Yeah.
And born left-handed, right-brained. So I was just wondering, I'm in the midst of somebody that I already look up to. And so if you have any resources or anything that, as a type of mentorship.
Well, I mean, I have a book that's coming out. It's done. It's finished. I have the workshop that's all about hearing your soul self, your intuitive self. If you can join that, I'm going to keep the price low. I'll make it for a few $100s. A bunch of people you can join and participate, and that's what I have to stop now. But I would love. Did you sign up?
Yeah, I did.
Did everybody sign up? Did everybody get a chance to sign up? Okay. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. It means so much to me. I don't even begin to. I wish I could impart to you how much it means to me. Thank you. And I'll be outside, and we can talk outside. I know they need to restructure the room, and if we can help put the chairs back, that would be amazing too. Thank you so much.